18-year-old Daniel found himself with an unexpected evening alone at home when his work schedule shifted. His family decided to go out for dinner, leaving him to enjoy the quiet of their house. Daniel seized the opportunity to relax in his basement hideout, watching his favorite TV show. But his peaceful night took a terrifying turn when he heard the basement window creak open. Peering over, Daniel was shocked to see someone who looked exactly like him peering inside. His heart pounded as he watched his doppelganger's every move, frozen in fear behind the couch. After what felt like an eternity, the doppelganger finally withdrew, leaving Daniel shaken and confused. Upstairs, he hurriedly switched off all the lights, his mind racing with fear and uncertainty. He stationed himself in the dimly lit kitchen, clutching a baseball bat tightly in his hands, ready for whatever might come next. It wasn't long before the eerie silence was broken by the sound of the pet door rattling. Daniel's breath caught in his throat as his doppelganger's hand reached through, fumbling with the lock. Without hesitation, Daniel swung the bat with all his strength, connecting with the intruder's arm and sending them fleeing into the darkness. As adrenaline coursed through his veins, Daniel's thoughts raced to the safety of his family. But his relief was short-lived when the wail of sirens pierced the night air. Rushing to the window, he saw the flashing lights just a few houses down. Later, when his family returned, they found their home in disarray, valuables scattered and missing. But the true horror awaited them in the kitchen, where they discovered Daniel's doppelganger lying lifeless on the floor. A chilling reminder of the night's surreal events. The encounter left Daniel and his family grappling with the unsettling mystery that had unfolded in their own home. One chilly Friday night, Lily was home alone while her parents went out for dinner and her sister hung out with friends. As she was nodding off in bed, she heard a loud noise from her closet. Thinking it might be something spooky, she mustered up her courage and checked, but there was nothing there. When she turned back, she saw a scary figure without a head, wearing a black suit under her bed. Lily screamed and fell to the floor in fright. Then her closet doors flew open and pulled her in, even though she couldn't see anything grabbing her. Meanwhile, the headless figure came closer to her from under the bed. Lily was shaking with fear as it reached out toward her. Just when Lily thought things could get scarier, her parents came back home and a bright light filled the room. The headless figure disappeared, leaving Lily scared but unhurt. Safe in her parents' arms, Lily told them what happened, still feeling scared. Even though the headless figure was gone, the creepy feeling it left behind stayed with her, reminding her of the spooky things that can happen when you least expect it. 19-year-old Max still lived with his parents. His older siblings had moved out, leaving him alone with his parents who often went out at night. One stormy evening, Max was in his room when he heard something bang against his window. Startled, he looked through the blinds and saw a figure outside. The person seemed to be shrouded in darkness, making it hard for Max to make out any features through the rain-soaked window. Max quickly closed the blinds, hoping the person would leave. But then something else crashed against the window, louder this time. Heart pounding, Max cautiously opened the blinds again, his fear growing with each passing second. "What do you want?" he shouted, his voice trembling with unease. The figure, barely visible through the downpour, called back in a sinister whisper, "Come outside, I have something to show you." Terrified, Max bolted downstairs to call the police. He could feel his hand shaking as he dialed the emergency number. The operator's voice on the other end was calm as they asked Max if he knew the person or if there was any visible damage. "Stay calm. Help is on the way," the operator reassured him before hanging up. Returning to the kitchen, Max opened the blinds again, his heart pounding in his chest. The figure was still there, its presence sending shivers down Max's spine. He could see now that it was tall and cloaked in a dark tattered coat, its face hidden in the shadows. Panicked, Max dialed the police again, his fingers fumbling with the buttons on the phone. But when he looked back at the window, the figure had vanished into the night, leaving behind only the sound of rain drumming against the glass. And that was the last time Max ever saw them. 13-year-old Alex found himself alone at home while his dad and stepmom went on a trip. Alex spent his days immersed in video games in his brother's old room. One night, as Alex played, he heard an odd sound outside. It sounded like something scratching against the walls, puzzling him as the room was on the second floor. Peeking out the window, Alex saw only darkness, unable to discern anything clearly. He left the window cracked open, straining to hear the noise. Suddenly, a chill crept down his spine. Turning, he was met with a spine-chilling sight. A ghostly figure dressed in white, eyes glowing red, floating above the ground. Fear gripped Alex as the mysterious entity vanished into the night. Despite locking the window tight, he remained on edge for the rest of the night, unable to shake the unsettling encounter. The next morning, Alex couldn't help but wonder what he had seen, the memory lingering like a haunting shadow in his mind. The following days were filled with an eerie sense of unease, as if the ghostly apparition might return at any moment. Alex's imagination ran wild, conjuring up all sorts of frightening scenarios, leaving him with a lingering sense of dread that lingered long after the encounter. On a rainy night in Wimbledon, London, 13-year-old Jake found himself alone at home. To chase away the loneliness, he invited his friend Max over. Max texted, promising to arrive in 2 minutes. Jake eagerly set up the video games they planned to play, their laughter echoing through the empty house. Suddenly, the sound of the backyard gate closing caught Jake's attention. Wondering why Max went outside, Jake ventured into the rainy night. As he approached the shed, its door stood open, a faint light spilling out into the darkness. "Max?" Jake called out, but the only response was the click of the light switch turning off. Confusion gripped Jake as he received a text from Max claiming to be waiting at the front door. Glancing up, Jake's heart pounded as the shed door slammed shut before his eyes. Fear consumed him as he sprinted back to the safety of his home, letting Max in with trembling hands. Together, they dialed the emergency number, seeking help from the police. Yet, despite their efforts, the shed remained empty upon investigation, leaving Jake haunted by the mystery of the strange events. The unsettling encounter left him questioning reality, his thoughts consumed by the unanswered questions that linger in the rainy night air. What's the scariest thing that's ever happened to you when you were home alone? Let us know in the comments below. And if you have any scary encounters, share your experiences with us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Fearflix for more videos like this. Thanks for watching and see you at the next one.